Hey, what is going on, gamers? Squirrely here. Thank you so much for joining me as always. If you guys have been watching my content for a while, you will quickly learn that I never miss an opportunity to compare Team Fortress 2 to something in real life, whether it's fitness or personal finance or personal development, or definitely the stock market and investing is something I really like to enjoy promoting and talking about it because I did TF2 trading for so long. So anything I can find to turn hats and pixels and keys into real life dollars and cents that can help you in the future, I will do that. And right now is probably a better time than ever. If you guys are not aware, just look up GameStop and the Wall Street bets situation because people keep asking me in game when I'm in casual, Squirrely, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Could this happen to TF2? What is going on? What are your thoughts? So I figure this is definitely an interesting topic. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just Google or just YouTube GameStop stock or Wall Street bets and you will go down this deep rabbit hole. But basically, long story short, GameStop is a store. They're typically in malls. They buy old games you can trade things in. And their stock on the US stock market was about $5 roughly 6 months ago. Then it jumped up to about $20 less than 2 weeks ago. And then at one point, not too long ago, it was $483. And as of recording this video, after hours, it's dropped down a little bit under $180, somewhere around there. But a stock going from $5 to $20 sounds like a big jump, right? But going from there to $480 is unreal. So let's talk about that. Could this happen to TF2? What exactly would you need to make this happen? And do I think it's a realistic thing that could happen? So let's get into it. Of course, if you guys have not already, if you like my content and you want more, all that I ask is you leave a comment, maybe like the video or subscribe. That helps out a lot. I want TF2 to get boosted up a lot higher in the algorithm when it comes to gaming. I think we should be up there at the top because TF2 is the best game ever made because it has videos like this talking about stock market and TF2 trading. I'm not going to go too in-depth and bore you guys with all the details about exactly what happened behind the scenes to drive this stock of GameStop from all the way up to like $20 to almost $500 in such a short window. All you really need to know is the gist of it, which is big money, big influence, Wall Street, hedge funds. We're talking billions and billions of dollars here. Was placing bets that the GameStop was going to go down in price. So they're taking a big gamble saying the price of this stock is going to drop significantly and they're going to reap the benefits of that. It's like placing a bet where you don't make money when it goes up, you actually make a lot more money when it goes down. So what happened is this group on Reddit, the subreddit called Wall Street Bets, was growing and growing and growing. And I remember checking out this subreddit, years ago when it wasn't even that big, maybe a couple 100,000. And it's definitely full of memes and funny stuff. I definitely think you guys should take a minute to check it out if you're new to it. It's definitely worth your time. There's some hilarious things on there and a lot of stories, a lot of learning experiences you can get out of that. But this group basically said, we're sick of these big guys taking over and pushing everyone around. Let's go in deep, let's go in big, and buy up this stock and buy call options and drive the price up. And when you have almost 5 million members or more now, you can actually throw your weight around and move a stock. So that's exactly what happened. Big money's betting on it go down. A bunch of little guys group together and bet on it to go up. They drive the price up, not a little bit, not a lot, exponentially. You're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percent. I forget exactly the max percent it's been up. Like I said, almost $500, depending on when you bought that. You could, 10x, 20x, 30x your money. So the big question is then, could something like this happen to Team Fortress 2? In the trading scene that we live in for hats and pixels and keys and refined metal, could something like this happen to us where something goes from a certain price to double, triple, quadruple, just for whatever reason, just skyrockets in price? Now, if you think about what makes something go up in value or go down in value, basically it is back to supply and demand, right? Certain items that are really popular, really high demand, if there's a lower supply, then the price typically goes up. But it's usually not that fast and that sharp because there's not that many people jumping into an item all at the same time, right? There's certain items that are more popular than others, but if you think about hats and cosmetics, there's not enough of them really to drive up the price quickly enough. So I kind of put that aside. That could not happen with cosmetics, even though there's certain cosmetics that are like really expensive and rare, old Halloween effects, miscellaneous hats, things like that. They do go up in price. Maybe if there's a price suggestion where it flips it really quickly from like 500 keys to like 2,000 keys, that's a very big jump, but it's not like it's a lot of people. It's usually like 1 or 2 trades that happened, and then it has a big spike. So we need something different, something that is, not continuous, meaning it's not going to constantly be coming out. So keys won't work as well. Because in the stock market, there are millions and millions and millions of shares, but there is a finite number of them. And sometimes they do, they will add more shares, they'll dilute it, things like that. But for the most part, there's a set amount of certain stocks that you can buy. So that's kind of like Bitcoin or something, right? It's not going to come out forever. Eventually, it will stop, and that's all that you have. So the price will have to go up if the value or the demand goes up with it too. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. We can't do hats, we can't do unusual effects, we can't do keys because there's an unlimited supply. Valve can keep making keys forever, so those don't work. So think about it for a second. What item is there in TF2 that has a limited demand, or excuse me, a limited supply, a pretty good demand, and enough people could be buying it and affect the price of it pretty quickly if they really wanted to? So you guys have probably guessed it already, but I think a really good candidate if you wanted to do this and make it work semi-effectively would actually be earbuds. Because earbuds is one of those items where it's popular, there's always a good amount of people who want them, it's very affordable, it's not super expensive, or it's not dirt cheap, it's kind of like right in that sweet spot where a lot of people have probably owned earbuds or had them at one point or wanted to get them. It's not super cheap, it's not super expensive, it's kind of like right in that sweet spot. And it does trade hands quite a bit. There's always plenty of buying and selling of earbuds going on. So there's not so many that you'd have to buy like a bajillion of them to change the price of it. But there's not so few that like people don't want it because they're impossible to get. It's kind of right in the middle. You could also maybe consider this with Bill's hats or Max heads, something like that. But I think earbuds is kind of that sweet spot where the price is good, the popularity's there, and a lot of people want them. Now, how many would you need to buy to affect the price? That we don't know. That would be an interesting thought experiment. You know, if you really wanted to, you could spend 10 grand or 20 grand, or I don't know how much money it would take. Just keep buying up earbuds. Every time it drops below a certain price when someone lists it, just buy it. Just snag it up and just wait on it. Either hoard it or just relist it for a little bit more until eventually all the cheaper ones under a certain price are just gone. And you cannot find them anywhere except for the ones that now you're selling for a higher price. So eventually there will be a critical mass where that happens and there's no longer any more cheaper earbuds. But the thing is, we don't see this really happen because it's not only expensive to do, but usually people realize it's not really worth my time and I'm not sticking it to the man, because Valve doesn't have to buy these earbuds back. You're actually only hurting other normal traders. So you're not sticking it to Wall Street or the man or Gaben. You're not like sticking up for, the little guy. You're just affecting other traders and you're just kind of being greedy and looking for more profit. So you're going to spend a ton of money up front. You're probably going to need other people to help you spending a bunch of money up front. It's going to take a ton of time, a ton of energy, and then you got to relist and sell all these earbuds, and you might reach a point where people are like, just forget it. I don't want to spend this much for earbuds. So now you're just stuck with this huge inventory and all this money you spent up front, and it's hard to sell them. So I think that's why we don't see people do this. It's just not worth it. I mean, sometimes it happens naturally. Like when I used to collect exquisite racks and unusual, the price of certain hats or effects would go up a little bit. And that's just because I was buying them for fun and collecting them, and they would naturally go up because, the supply went down. But on a scale for earbuds or Bill's hats or something, you'd have to buy so many and set them for so long, and then you wouldn't know how much you could actually sell them for until you just waited and waited. And there's going to constantly be people, undercutting you and lowering their price because they're getting more than they normally get. So it would take forever. It would be a huge drain, but technically you could do something like that. All right, gamers, well, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for joining me as always. Before I go, let me know your guys' comments down below on the whole GameStop situation. Did you get in early? Did you get out early? Did you play this market at all? You could do this with so many other stocks. Dogecoin's been going crazy. AMC, BlackBerry. There's a lot of stocks that people are kind of promoting now. It's like the next thing, get into it now. And unfortunately, a lot of times that's just mind games. They've already bought into a stock. They're trying to pump it for the new people to get on board. Then they can jump off, when it goes up a lot. But we'll see what happens. It's definitely an interesting time to be alive in the stock market as well. If you guys have not taken a look at it, I highly suggest you do. It will open up your mind to the world of big money and big mind games. It's super, super interesting. But have a great one, you guys. Hopefully, I will see you in game soon. Don't forget to say hi and what's up. As well, do not forget to join my Squirrely Squad down below, my Steam group, where I give away stuff and alert you guys of new videos and everything else. And have a good one. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Out who's Ubering who?
I'm Ubering H2O.
I think we're ready.
Go!
Go!
Come on, fellas, I'm real.
Yes! This is so... Look at him go!
This actually had to actually work.
No, there's a bot! There's a bot!
Oh no.